Hi gang, it's Julia jumping in here to answer your questions from Question Friday and other questions that we've kind of seen online. You guys are all doing a great job with your workouts. I've been following along, looking at those green boxes, green squares, and I've been updating your training zones when you get a threshold notification. I've been checking in on that and making sure that we're keeping on top of it and updating it. Big shout out to Gabby. Hope you feel better soon. I know she's suffering pretty badly from COVID. So we're thinking about you, Gabby, and hope you feel better soon. So to our first question from Sarah, it was about wetsuits. She wanted to know some tips about wearing a wetsuit and basically what to wear underneath and how to manage your wetsuit during a triathlon. So first of all, you can wear whatever you want under your wetsuit. The joy of having a wetsuit on is that you can actually wear your full triathlon suit underneath your wetsuit. So it's awesome. So you don't have to change. You've got your triathlon suit underneath and you can wear a one piece or a two piece, especially as the courses get longer. You want to have a two piece so you can stop and go to the bathroom. So you can just take down the shorts instead of having a one piece. But if they cancel the wetsuits because it's too warm in the water, then you really want a one piece on so that you don't have any kind of material coming up when you're swimming. How to take it off. So the best thing to do is definitely you want to leave your swim cap and your goggles on before you touch your wetsuit. So keep those guys on. Just lift up your goggles, take them up on top of your head so you can see where you're going. But really what you want to do is hands-free so you can play around with your wetsuit. As soon as you come out of the water, you're going to grab that little Velcro piece and start pulling the zip down on your wetsuit and then pull the wetsuit down halfway. Run to the transition zone like that with the wetsuit down halfway. And then once you get close to the transition zone, then you can think about taking off your cap and your goggles, and then you can have them in your hands at that point, dump them on your towel in your transition zone. And then from there, take down the bottom of your wetsuit and you can just stomp on it. And it's a really good and important part to practice because the first time you take it off, you'll realize it's not as easy as you think to take off the bottom bit. But if you kind of stomp on it with your feet, it comes off pretty quickly. And where to put it, you can put it on the rail of where your bike rack is in front of you, if there is enough space. But if there isn't, just throw it down right in front of your towel so that it's not in the way from your running shoes or your bike shoes. So thank you, Sarah, for that really important question. And I see that you're doing Bracebridge. So good luck in that Bracebridge triathlon. We're looking forward to seeing how you do. And also send us a picture. Let us know. Next question is from Erin. She wanted to know if you can unpair workouts. You can pair them by clicking and dragging and then dropping the workout to the planned workout. But can you unpair them? Yes. So in the top right-hand corner, there's 3 lines, which is, we call it the hamburger menu. It looks like a little hamburger. So you click on the top right on the hamburger menu, and then you click unpair, and that'll unpair the 2 workouts. Erin also asked about what happens when she's running to the track, and it's a 2,000 meter run to the track, but the workout planned is 1,500 meters. So what you can do, Erin, is just start your watch when you know you have 1,500 meters left, or you can do 1,500 meters, pause your workout, and then get on the track and start your workout. Other option would be to run 2 kilometers to the track, then stop your workout there, and then do the 1,500 meter warm up, and then do the track workout. So lots of options. Great question. Erin also asked about, are we building to 10K soon? Absolutely. If you look ahead now, I've loaded up all the next few weeks of your workouts in Training Peaks. So have a look there. This week, you're on a drop week, so we don't have as much volume this week. It gives you a chance to kind of catch up from some of the workouts you might have missed. It also gives your body a chance to catch up from all the training. But if you look ahead, have a little peek, there are some 10K runs coming up. You'll also see that the brick workouts are getting longer. So those brick workouts on the weekends, we're building up to eventually doing a long brick that'll kind of simulate what you're going to be doing in your race, so that you will be well prepared for the big one. Anna has questions about gearing and RPMs and all of that, and cornering. So these are big questions, and I'm happy to answer them here. It's easier to describe it sometimes than it is to read a piece of paper. So let's start with gearing. So if you don't have a cat eye or some kind of computer on your bike, it's really hard to know how many revolutions per minute you're actually doing. You can buy a cat eye that's not too expensive versus a Garmin, which is like we call it on a head mount. Those are a lot more expensive, but a cat eye will look at how many revolutions per minute you're doing. When you first start out cycling, it's a really, really useful tool to use so that you could actually see how many RPMs you're doing. Ideally, you want to have your RPMs over 80. We generally see sort of long course half Ironman people do about 82, 83 revolutions per minute. But in the sprint and the Olympic distance, you start to see higher cadence, we call it, or RPMs. So you'll start to see people doing more in the 85, sometimes up to 88 range in terms of RPMs. If you don't have a cadence meter, then what you probably want to do is just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And eventually you'll start to realize that that's the speed that you want to go at. As soon as you feel like that 8 count or the RPMs, you look and you see that it's dropped under 80, it's a really good way of knowing it's time to change gears. So if you're grinding out a really hard gear because you've suddenly hit a headwind or like a false flat, we call it, where it looks like it's flat, but it's actually kind of going up like that, then that's when it's time to change the gear and make it a little bit easier so that you come back to this spinning rather than grinding out like this. The reason we don't grind out a big gear is because it fatigues your legs, and then it's a lot harder to ride for longer, and it's also a lot harder to run after. And it was actually Lance Armstrong who started the concept of spinning as opposed to doing the slow grind, 70 RPMs. On a hill, obviously, you can't maintain 80 RPMs because you've run out of gears probably. So there you're looking at, 60 to 70 RPMs, but definitely on the flats, try to be over 80 and ideally, 83, 85, maybe even 88. So how to corner. So when you're going around a corner, it's really important to kind of go wide and then hit the apex of the corner and then kind of go wide out. It's hard. Some courses you don't have as much space. So what you want to think about, you're coming into the corner like this and the corner's over here. So you're riding along like this. So I'm going to go out wide and then I'm going to hit the apex of the corner. So right at the center of that corner. And then as I come out of the corner, I go out wide and then continue on. So if that makes sense. You can also Google it and find a picture of what the apex of the corner is. Apex of the corner basically is right at, let's say this is the corner, it's right at the middle of that corner. So you're coming out wide, then coming in, and then going out wide, and then continuing back in. Always make sure you do a shoulder check before you start to come out wide. The same thing goes around when you're turning around. Because a lot of courses have a tight turnaround there. So do that shoulder check. Make sure there's nobody over there as you come out wide. We're coming out wide, and then we're going into the apex of the turn. As you make your turn, especially if you're doing a turnaround, we're coming into the turn. Look over your shoulder, and it'll guide you to take a much tighter turn. We have some examples on our YouTube channel. We have a great example of it from Meech Lake last year. So have a look at that as well. If you're a visual learner, it's a great tool to have a look at videos of people cornering and doing their turnarounds. One really important piece when you're doing turnarounds, make sure, these are my feet, I'm pedaling along here, make sure that the inside leg as you go around the corner is up at the 12 o'clock position and the outside leg is at the 6 o'clock position. If we have it the other way around, like that, I'm going around a corner, this foot may hit the ground. Okay, so you're leaning in a little bit and this foot could easily hit the ground as you're pedaling, and down you go. So make sure that as you come around that corner, that inside foot is up, the outside foot is down. All right. Same thing goes when you're descending a hill. Make sure that your feet are at 3 and 9 o'clock. So let's say you're up in the Ghats and you're doing some kind of a corner, but it's not, not a steep corner, but you're coming into the corner like this. If that bottom foot is down, again, your foot could scrape the ground. And here now we're going downhill, so we're going fast. So you want to make sure that that bottom foot doesn't touch the ground. All good questions. Let me just flip the page here. We had a lot of questions. It's awesome. A question about tapering from Sarah. Tapering is a big question. And again, it depends on a lot of factors, how much training you've been doing, what you're used to, and it depends on what a race it is that you're tapering for. So we call them A races, B races, and C races. An A race is the most important race of your season. The B race is your second most important, and the C race is a race to prepare you for your A race, if that makes sense. So basically, we're all gearing up for our A race, which is our Olympic distance race for this season. So during the 2 weeks before the race, you want to look at reducing your volume, and you want to be increasing the intensity, or maintaining intensity. So the intensity stays the same, but the volume is decreased. What I'm looking for is the numbers on your Training Peaks. And this is the beautiful thing about Training Peaks, is that we can look at your fatigue score and your form score. On Training Peaks, you want your fatigue score down around 50, 55. Depends on the person too, how much taper they need. The form score you want above 0 for your A race. So we're looking at, +3, +5. For an Ironman, I'm looking at sort of +30 for some people, +20. Depends on a lot of factors. And in time, you'll start to learn how much of a taper you actually need. The main thing is 2 days before your A race or 2 days before your B race, you definitely don't want to work out. That's your full rest day. And the day before the race, you want to do a pre-race brick, we call it, where you check on your bike and you do 20 minutes on the bike, 10-minute run with a few sort of speed pickups of a minute each, and then definitely get in the water so that you get a chance to see what the swim course is like. And that's, again, a short little 10-15 minute swim. Just keep it short, nothing too crazy, and it just gives your body an opportunity to get activated. So that's all the questions for this week. Good job, gang. Looks like everything is under control in terms of your workouts, and keep up doing what you're doing. Miss you all, and we'll talk soon. Keep going. Keep at it. Take care. Bye.